Hey, what's up everybody? And as we know, there's a patch coming out for Street Fighter 6 on December 1st. Really weird timing with this patch in the middle, later half of the season. I don't think anybody was expecting a patch to come out now, especially since there's some more World Warrior and Capcom stuff to go. But it's coming, so that means it's time to make some predictions. Now, just right off the bat, I don't think this is going to be a big, meta shifting patch. I think with the timing of this patch, they're basically going to tone down some of the more ridiculous stuff the characters have, and maybe they're going to give a little bit of help to the characters who aren't really doing well in the meta right now. Although I will say, I do also have a feeling that Capcom is testing the waters with this patch. I think they're going to basically buff a really low tier character really strong to see how the community reacts, and it probably won't have an effect on Capcom Cup because nobody's going to switch to a completely brand new character that got buffed. Who's super low tier right now? Let's say they buff E Honda incredibly. I don't think people are going to switch to E Honda and pick him up and be ready in time for Capcom Cup that quickly. So that's my gut feeling. But enough yapping. I yapped for a while. Let's get into this. This is kind of random order. I'm just going to do big buff, neutral, or I'm not sure, which basically means probably inconsequential. Won't really have anything to do with the game. They might get a little slap on the wrist, but nothing real. Slight nerf, and then nerf. So let's start with Kimberly. I don't know about you guys, I think they're going to give Kimberly some buffs. I don't think they're going to go all the way and do something give her OD Tatsu invulnerability. I don't think it's going to go that much. Everybody says that she's one of the weaker characters in the game, so I'm pretty sure they're going to buff her. There's no way they're going to keep her exactly the same. My prediction, maybe they'll do something with her cans. I think they might give her one or two cans right at the beginning of the round, or what I think they might do, they might give her better frame data on her run cancel stuff because most of her pressure is fake. And I think they're probably going to do something with her spray cans. That's my feeling. All right, next we got Marisa. I think they're going to buff Marisa. This character got mauled in Season 2. And not just in terms of this character herself, but I think the meta really messed her up. M. Bison is basically a better Marisa. M. Bison basically does everything Marisa can do, but better. And if he can't do what she does, he's got something even dumber. So I'm going to guess that they're going to revert a bunch of the changes they did in Season 2, and they're probably going to give her better knockdown Oki after her command grab or stuff like that. Also, I know Marisa players, they want to see her anti-air improved. Her anti-airs are rough in this game. So yeah, I think Marisa's going to get a small buff. All right, this was fast. We got here real quick, but we're at Akuma. Break his kneecaps. You guys don't like Akuma? I think Akuma's sick. I think Akuma, in terms of character design, the way he looks, the way he sounds, the way he moves, he's the coolest character in Street Fighter. Not just Street Fighter 6, just Street Fighter. I love Akuma. He's a cool character. But I think Akuma's going to survive this one. I think they're going to play with his hurt box on Fireball. I think they're going to extend the hurt box on it. They might increase the damage scaling on the Hard Punch, Adamant Flame stuff as a punish, as a punish counter. But I think Akuma's going to survive this one. Plus also, a ton of top level Japanese players play this character, especially one of the guys who's been doing super well lately, Shudo. I don't think they're good. I don't think Capcom's going to go so far as to push a Japanese player to win. But I think in their heart of hearts, Capcom would love to see a Japanese player win Capcom Cup because at the end of the day, it is a Japanese company. So I don't think they're going to nerf one of Japan's best players' main characters right before Capcom Cup. So just thinking a little bit pessimistic there, but that's gonna be my prediction. All right, so that's Akuma. Let's move on. We got Aki next. I think Aki is basically gonna stay the same. She might get a little bit better something on her anti-air whip stuff just to get it a little bit more consistent. They might play with her her hurt boxes or hit boxes a little bit just to make her a little bit more solid with the anti-airs, but for the most part, I think Aki's basically gonna stay the same. I think Aki's biggest problem is just the characters in S tier. Otherwise, she's a good character. Aki's really technical. Even if there are 2 or 3 characters in this game, Aki, JP, and Ed. Even if you are a really sick fighting game player, you've been playing for 10, 15 years, you've won multiple local tournaments and stuff, even if you're really sick, you're not going to cook with these characters on day 1 or even week 1. These are really lab heavy characters and they take a lot of investment, tons of combo extensions, things to do. So I think these 3 characters, because of the time investment generally needed, I don't think they're going to do too much of a nerf now. I think they're sitting in a pretty good place, except for Ed. Let's leave Ed for later. But Aki and JP, they're such specialist characters that I think they're in a good spot right now. That's Aki. Manon. I think Manon is going to get a little buff. I don't think she's going to get a big buff. I don't think Capcom or the world is ready to have two grapplers as like A+ S tiers with her and Zangief. So I think we're going to get some small buffs, just some quality of life stuff, maybe some extra damage, maybe like better Oki setups for her. Maybe even better hitboxes, even though her hitbox is already pretty good. But maybe just improve maybe the hitbox on her standing like it, because it is one of the shorter ones in the game. Stuff like that. Just some little buffs. Nothing that's going to shoot her up the tier list, but just something to kind of help her out. All right, next, Jamie. I think they're going to give Jamie some small buffs. I think Capcom is also really scared or doesn't know how to buff this character properly, because this character in level 4, when he has 4 drinks, this character is ridiculously strong. But at top level play, most people don't let him get there. And I think Capcom is scared of letting this character get to level 4 too often because of how strong he is in level 4. So let's see what happens, but I'm going to guess some small buffs. Don't think they're going to give him like the ability to carry over drinks to the next round, but maybe they'll give him better frame advantage off things like quarter circle back light punch, maybe make him a little bit less minus or a little bit more plus. Like I think standing hard punch is +1 on block. Maybe they'll make it +2 on block just to give him even more frames. That could work. Maybe speed up his standing medium punch, things like that. But I think we're going to see some small buffs with Jamie, but nothing huge. Let's go to everybody's favorite Street Fighter main character, because we know it's not Luke. We know it's Ryu. Let's go to Ryu. I think they're going to buff Ryu. I think Ryu gets a really bad rap in the current meta of the game, but I don't think he's a bad character at all. I don't think he's bad at all. I think he's just not as ridiculous as the other Shotos above him. Medium Hashio -5 instead of -6. They could do that. They could play with the Hashio stuff. Yeah, I think they're probably going to do better Oki, but maybe a faster drive rush, maybe some better frame data on his normals. That's kind of what I would expect from this guy, because his damage is already off the charts. With his level 3, he gets some crazy high damage combos in the corner. I would like to see more Ryu players come out. I think this character is really cool. It's probably the most interesting Ryu has ever been in a Street Fighter game in a long time. He's not just like crouching medium kick, fireball, the character. He's got some fun stuff. He's got some cool combos. So I would like to see Ryu kind of move up in the tiers a bit. All right, Juri. Juri, I don't know. I don't think they're going to touch this character. Juri players aren't going to like hearing this from me. But I think if we look at where the game is now and where I think a lot of us want the game to go, I think Juri's kind of in a good spot, kind of like Aki. She's has good buttons, she has stuff, but she's not like S tier. Like nobody's really complaining that much about this character. And I think the way her throw loops, or like it's not really a throw loop, but I think the way her throw loops in the corner work are really good for the game. And I would like to see the game move overall more into a general direction with the way throw loops work, kind of how it works with Juri. But I think if Capcom wants to think about how to balance the game to be a bit more, less throw loop heavy in the corner and just general character strength, Juri's in a good spot. All right, Rashid. I think Rashid is going to get away scot-free. I don't think they're going to do anything to his level 2. I'm incredibly pessimistic on this character because people have been complaining about his level 2 and the way it works since like the middle end of season 1. And season 2 came, and I think everybody was expecting there to be some kind of level 2 nerf, and he didn't get it. So if he didn't get it then, I don't think he's going to get it now. I do not like the way his level 2 works. I think it's one of the dumbest moves in the game. My heart says I want the level 2 to disappear if he gets hit. But my brain says that's a little bit too far. That's a little bit too big of a nerf. And my brain says the tornado will disappear if he gets knocked down. And I think that's more fair. Extra scaling if it hits sounds good. Yeah, that could work. Extra damage scaling, because the combo he gets if he hits you from like a stray hit on the tornado in the corner is ridiculous. I think this guy's going to get away with it this patch. Maybe the next patch he'll get nerfed, but I don't think they're going to touch him this time. But let's go to everybody's favorite character. I know you guys love fighting against this character. The most downplayed character probably, Cammy. All right, I think Cammy is actually going to get a slight nerf. You guys know the meme, right? The meme for Street Fighter is like the blonde, white, blue-eyed characters never get nerfed. Cammy and Ken are like the two like top-ish tier characters. I think Ken's going to survive this one, but Cammy isn't. Could be completely wrong, but I think so. What I would like to see changed about Cammy, I think easiest way to nerf this character just a little bit, but still keep her competitive and not destroy people's motivation with this character and not remove her character identity, is to just tone down the hitbox on her crouching medium punch. Also, if they extended the hurt box on her dive kick. because I think it's really hard for characters to anti-air this character when she jumps at you, especially if you don't have like a really good standing light punch or like a really good anti-air move. But if you play a character with a bad jab and you don't have a DP, I don't know how you're supposed to anti-air this character. Or they might even increase the recovery of her light punch DP just so she doesn't always get incredible Oki in the corner off of absolutely everything. I think like the hate for this character is getting pretty strong, both for like from casual, intermediate, and top level players. I think people are really complaining about this character, and I think nobody's expecting her to get nerfed. So I think people would be very happy if they gave her even just a slap on the wrist. But anyways, let's leave Cammy. I'm going to guess slight nerf. That's my prediction. Lily, buff. I don't think, just because of how angry everybody got when they buffed Zangief, I don't think they're going to do the same play twice and super buff any grapplers. I think they're going to just give Lily like a slight buff. I don't play Lily. She's not popular. I don't know what they're going to change to make her better. Who even plays Lily? At the expense of losing some subscribers, I'm going to say smelly people. You just lost 2 subs, maybe? Might have gained 2 with that, actually. I think she's going to get a little buff because you can't not buff her a little bit. She's not doing that well. All right, Zangief. They've messed with this character enough over every single patch. I think they're going to keep him the same. This is the character that's probably gotten adjusted like the most back and forth, back to back in the last couple of patches. He went from like, remember season 1, like way in the beginning, he went from like bottom 1, bottom 2 to like most wanted character, like most like get rid of this guy, nerf him now. He's super busted right after season 2. And they toned him down again right after that, like shortly after the Akuma. No, what was it? 2 months ago, 3 months ago? I can't remember when. But they've adjusted this guy a lot. I think they're going to leave him alone. All right, next, E Honda. Everyone says he's bottom 1. He's been bottom of the tier list for a long time. I think this time Capcom's going to pull the trigger. And I think E Honda's one of the characters we're going to see a big buff for. And I have a secondary reason for this. This is going to be dumb. Street Fighter tweeted this. They've got this official sumo jersey coming out. Number 1 rated jersey, highly detailed embroidery, tackle twill, limited edition, only 150 made. They tweeted this out today. I think this is like the sign of the beginning of the end. I think they're going to super buff this character. I think Capcom loves this. I think they like this character. I think somebody at Capcom HQ wants this character to be good. Anyways, yeah, big buff to Honda. I don't know what they're going to buff, to be honest. But I think they might go kind of ham with this guy. All right, Luke, I think they're going to give him slight buffs. We all know Capcom wants this guy to be the number 1 poster boy for this game. It's really obvious. And I think both his play rate, both in like the casual scene and the competitive scene, really fell off once they nerfed this character. So I think Capcom probably wants to see him move back up in popularity and tournament level play. So I think they're going to buff him again. I think they'll probably just revert some of the changes they did. I don't know. I think they're going to remove his damage scaling. Remember how they nerfed his damage scaling, his damage on, what was it? Punish counter, back hard kick or forward hard kick. I can't remember the input, but they nerfed the damage on that. He also got light scaling nerfs. That's right. The light scaling nerfs. That's right. I think they're going to change that too. Let's go to someone else on the complete opposite end of my prediction spectrum. Ed. I think they're going to nerf Ed. Not even slight nerf. I think they're going to nerf him, and not in the way you think. I think they're going to nerf the meter gain on his level 2, finally. And I think they're probably going to revert his frame advantage on jumping hard kick. But those 2 changes this close to the Capcom Cup, while they might not be like huge nerf territory, I think it's going to be significant enough to make this character quite a bit harder for most people to use. I think they're going to nerf it. I don't think they're going to ruin his dream combo. I think he'll still be able to do the dream combo because it's cool. So the thing with Ed, my issue, not issue, but the thing I'm kind of like, I think Ed is a cool character. And I also think Ed is the kind of character that if you have, whether you're an experienced fighting game player or a new fighting game player, he's so technical that you're not going to pick him up and start winning tournaments like in 1 week. You got to grind his stuff. His dream combos are hard, like the optimal ones. You have to have really good execution. And in a game where high execution combos are very, very sparse and not seen that often at high level, I personally like a character like Ed being in the game. However, having said that, they nerfed Guile's overall boom loop meter gain. And they also nerfed Chun-Li and Rashid's meter gain. And I know they did that in the last patch, but I don't think it was enough because people, especially like Momochi, keep on finding new combos and new extensions to his dream combos. And I think the meter gain just is going to get nerfed for sure. I don't want them to kill this character. I don't want them to nerf him to like mid-tier or lower mid-tier because he's such a technical character. And I think he's really well designed. I think he's like one of the top contender for biggest glow up in Street Fighter 6 from Street Fighter 5. And I think you have to put in a lot of work to be really good with this character. I don't think he's in like the easy top tier category like some of the other characters like a Ken or an Akuma, right? Or a Bison. Bison's probably the worst defender. He's definitely not on the same like ease of use level as Bison. So I don't mind him being strong, but I do want to see him I do want to see them nerf the level 2 combos. And I also think level 2, so OD Snatcher, like the Flicker Snatcher? I can't remember the name. The wire grab thing. I think that's way too strong. It's in my top 2 strongest OD moves. I got Cammy's OD dive kick and Ed's OD Snatcher as like the 2 best OD moves in the game. Dhalsim, I think nothing. Yeah, I think Dhalsim, they're not going to change him. They gave him quite a bit of changes last time. I think Dhalsim's not bad either. I think he just has a tough time. I think he has really polarizing matchups, but the game system doesn't really reward him. His damage is also way too low. I think if Dhalsim's damage was a little bit higher, he'd be way better. But yeah, nothing for Dhalsim this time. I think with more system changes, this character could move up really fast. I think we're going to see that in Season 3, but for now, no changes to Dhalsim. All right, Ken. I think Ken is going to get a slap on the wrist this time. Chat, don't hate me. I think Ken's going to survive this. I think Cammy is going to get sacrificed for Ken. Yeah, that's just my feeling. I think Ken is going to survive. If they change anything to Ken, I think they're going to make his target combo like the Run Tatsu. I think the Run Tatsu is going to go a little bit, maybe a little bit less corner carry if they change anything, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really change him as a character this time. Just this time. Yeah, and then also chat's right. Japan top players never put Ken in top 5, and I think that's going to make him survive this. Even though there's like, what, 5, 6 Kens in Capcom Cup? How many Kens are there in Capcom Cup, chat? Help me out. 6? Okay, I was right. 55. Someone wrote 55. Nah, I think Ken's going to survive. Next patch, maybe not, but this time, yes. I think Ken is there are too many Kens in Capcom Cup to make any significant changes right now. Just my guess. All right, Guile. Because I'm pessimistic, for no other reason than I'm pessimistic, and he's my main, and I just want to prepare my heart, I'm going to say slight nerf. I don't think they're going to keep him the same. I think they're going to give him a slight nerf. Only because my reason for giving him slight nerf is because they reduced the meter gain on his boom stuff, and I don't think anybody was really complaining about that. I don't think anybody was complaining about, oh, like his meter gain is so broken or anything. I don't think people were complaining about that. I think people don't like fighting this character. I think like especially casual or like upper intermediate players think he's annoying to fight against, and I think they're going to maybe put that into consideration. Boom recovery nerf. Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to do something because what can you change with Guile? Like this was in the Broski video too, but like what can you nerf with Guile? He has 3 special moves and one is kind of the same as the first one. Like Sonic Blade and Sonic Boom are kind of work the same. So I think they're just going to nerf the recovery on his booms a little bit, make him a little bit harder to play, and I think that's basically it. They've been shaving him off since release. Yeah, I mean, I also think Guile isn't easy to play at high level, and maybe I'm biased because I play this character, but he has representation in Capcom Cup, but has Guile won a major yet? Like, has Guile won a really big major? I don't think so. He has half of all TNF because of Do. Yeah, but that's more like one guy killing it. Do's been the best Guile for like, what, 15 years? So I think that has less to do with Guile and more to do with Knuckle Do. Yeah, and I think he's going to slight nerf to his boom, maybe, but I don't think it's going to affect his placing too much. Next, let's go to DJ. I think I'm going to keep DJ the same. I think DJ's actually in a good place. I think this character is still strong, and in terms of like balance, I think this character is like in a healthy place balance-wise. DJ, Juri, and maybe Aki are my 3 contenders for like, this is how strong I would like a character to be in the game. I think they're in a good place. If every character can be more or less like these 3, I think Season 3 will be better. But anyways, yeah, DJ, no real changes. I think this character is good. JP, also no changes. JP got a ton of changes between the last 2 patches, and I think most people agree he's in like the A+ character category right now, but we still don't see him like, we still haven't seen like the JP comeback after some of the revisions they made with the Terry patch. So I think JP is going to be basically neutral. They might buff or nerf some little things on frames here and there, but I think he's going to be the same. Yeah, but I think he's pretty well balanced at this point. He's not like he was in Season 1. No real changes for JP. So next we got Blanca. I think they're actually going to buff Blanca a little bit. He fell off pretty hard from Season 1 to Season 2. Like, I don't think anybody really plays this guy competitively anymore. Maybe a couple people here and there, but I don't think he's going to get any big buffs, but I think they're going to give him something. I think they're going to give him a little bit. Chun-Li is another difficult one because she fell off after Season 1. But I think in terms of like character balance, she's in a really healthy spot. Kind of like Aki, Juri, and DJ. So I think she's not going to get any changes because I'm hoping that they try to balance the game for Season 3 more around where Chun-Li is. All right, Bison. Are they going to nerf Bison? Are they actually going to do it? I don't think it's going to be big nerfs. I think we're going to get a slight nerf. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on this guy. I think they're going to nerf the scaling on his bomb level 3 stuff because the scaling is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think any character in this game gets such high damage off of such a simple sequence or a simple like correct read, like a low overhead or whatever, as Bison does. So I think they're going to change that. All right, Terry. I think Terry is also the only other character in the big buff category. I think a lot of people want to like this character. I think people generally like Terry as a character, not even in Street Fighter 6, just like Terry. I think a lot of people like Terry. And he's the first real collaboration character, this like the crossover character that has been in Street Fighter 6. And of all the DLCs, I guess he's considered the weakest one, like Bison, Akuma. Terry's definitely the weakest of the DLC. So I think we're going to get a big buff for Terry. And then my prediction, they're going to big buff Terry. And if anything is too ridiculous and he ends up becoming too top tier, they'll tone him back a little bit for whenever the big patch for Season 3 comes out after Capcom Cup. Standing hard punch should be adjusted. What else should be adjusted? The fact that his heavy fireball, when you perfect parry it, acts as a normal instead of a projectile, really hurts this character. That would probably help because he hits so slow. It's 20 frames, 22 frames. Pretty telegraphed. Perfect parrying it isn't that hard. So I think they're going to maybe change that, maybe revert that, maybe make it like a regular projectile where you don't get the screen freeze, you just get the perfect parry flash. That could help him a lot. His sweep does suck. His sweep really sucks. They could fix that. What's something else I wanted to see? His DP is really bad, but the reward just isn't there. So I'm hoping that they give him some big buffs to kind of make people want to play this character. But anyways, guys, those are my predictions. What do you think? Do you totally disagree with anything that I came up with? I'll do a follow-up video after the patch comes out and once we get to play with the characters for a bit, and I'll kind of like reflect and see how accurate or inaccurate my predictions were. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps support me as a content creator, and definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this list and what your predictions are for the next patch for Street Fighter 6. But as always, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time in another video. Peace.